In Tampa, Florida, talking about what's next with the coronavirus, if a relief package will be passed before the end of the year, and if the Paycheck Protection Program will also be extended. Remember, that was passed back in March, giving loans to businesses so they could keep operating amidst the shutdowns going on throughout the country. So really good breakdown from that, and now we're going to go to, speaking of coronavirus relief, the latest evidence of America's slow economic recovery from the pandemic came in today's jobs report. President-elect Joe Biden addressed the grim numbers this afternoon. I believe that was somewhere of around 45,000 jobs that were added last month. So Joe Biden addressed that as Congress edges closer to a big COVID relief package, like I just mentioned. And we are joined by Fox News multimedia reporter Ali Rafa, and she's been following this for quite some time on the Biden transition. Ali, what did he have to say about that jobs report today?
Hey, Andrew. Well, like you said, in that jobs report, it only showed an addition of 245,000 jobs. That's over half of what was expected and the fewest since April. And today here in Wilmington this afternoon, Biden delivered remarks on this job report. He called it dire and grim. He called for President Trump and Congress to work together immediately to get relief to Americans in the form of this new $900 billion relief package. He said if Congress and President Trump fail to act before the end of December, 12 million Americans will lose the unemployment benefits they're on. And Biden is pushing for this to pass as more of a bridge until he is inaugurated. He's saying that this would only be a down payment and this would get Americans a temporary fix. He says his transition team is already working on another economic relief package that he will go full force into working on when he is inaugurated. So this is definitely not the last we're hearing from Biden on this topic, Andrew.
And obviously, Ali, who is central to all of these discussions is Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. And we finally heard from the president-elect today about kind of what the nature of his relationship is like with the Majority Leader. What did he have to say about that? I don't believe they've discussed yet since his victory.
That's right. So Biden was asked early this week if he has spoken with McConnell. He said not yet. And today he dodged two questions from reporters here in Wilmington on this exact topic. He said we will be in dire trouble if both sides don't cooperate, and that he doesn't think he has to convince McConnell that it's in America's best interest for the two of them to work together moving forward. Now, we know these two have worked together for decades in the Senate, but there's this new partisan friction since the election between Democrats and Republicans. We saw Biden last night in an interview with Jake Tapper on CNN say that he's only received a handful of phone calls from Senate Republicans congratulating him on his win. So in the Senate, in the House, in the White House, there's still this friction between Democrats and Republicans that Biden and McConnell can't seem to overstep. But we'll just have to wait and see if one communicates with the other, if their teams reach out to each other. We haven't heard anything from McConnell himself on the issue, if he's talked to Biden. So we're definitely keeping an eye out for that update, Andrew.
And Ali, it was kind of interesting to hear the president-elect discuss his kind of negotiating style, that McConnell knows how to work with him. So it'll be interesting to see, when they talk. Inevitably, they must, but it'll be interesting to see when that happens. Ali, though, what is next with the transition? I saw some comments from Jen Psaki today saying that, reporters are going to be really busy in these next 2 weeks covering the transition, and we'll be on the lookout for any more appointments and picks the transition makes, as far as, a lot of these cabinet secretaries still haven't been chosen yet. Isn't that right, Ali?
So incoming White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki and Communications Director Kate Bedingfield, they held a press briefing for reporters today, and they said that we're going to be very busy between now and Christmas. They said that the president-elect is preparing to roll out his health team early next week. And going off of this topic of health, this is obviously on the top of all Americans' minds, as well as the president-elect and his transition team. And we learned yesterday that Biden spoke with Dr. Fauci. He he said that he wanted him to stay on in his role right now, and he wanted him to become his chief medical advisor when he takes his position in the White House. We learned today that Fauci happily accepted that offer. And we know that we learned yesterday also in that CNN interview with Jake Tapper that Biden is now calling for a mask, for 100 days of mask wearing after his inauguration. He says obviously he can't make this a mandatory thing only in public spaces and government spaces, but he hopes that Americans across the country will follow his lead, as this will lead to a decrease in COVID numbers. We also heard that Biden says he will be happy to receive a COVID vaccine in public if Dr. Fauci says it's safe after the FDA approves it. He said that he would be happy to join this group of his soon-to-be 3 predecessors, Presidents Obama, Bush, and Clinton, who have all come out and said that they will also receive the COVID vaccine publicly whenever that is approved. Andrew.
All right, Fox's Ellie Roth there live for us in Wilmington, Delaware, breaking everything down regarding the Biden-Harris transition. Ellie, thanks so much. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, you too.
So we have a lot of great content coming up here on News Now from Fox going into the late afternoon, early evening hours on this Friday. Hope everyone is gearing up for a good weekend, and we have a lot of politics news, coronavirus news in store for everyone watching. Remember, it's live, raw, and unfiltered. And so if you want to follow us on Twitter, go to @NewsNowFox. We also have a website, newsnowfox.com, where you can find all the places where you can watch us. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll see you back here in 2 minutes, and then we'll be showing you some more content in the meantime. Here is a live look while we do that of the U.S. Capitol Dome.